When I was 8 years old, my parents felt called to move to teach in South Korea. So from ages 8 to 18, I was a staff kid, a third culture kid. I spent 10 years of my life living in South Korea. I fell in love with culture and food from all over the world, and walking through places and just hearing people speak in other languages. Growing up in another culture where people come and go, come and go, come and go, the image that I had of a missionary in my head was somebody who would go up and talk to somebody just because they wanted to convert them to become a Christian and then do that to the next person they met. I just valued the distinctness of each culture. I came to NNU and worked my entire freshman year with Dr. Ewicker to create the major Global Languages and Cultures. And everyone kept asking me, oh, you want to study language and culture, so do you want to be a missionary? And every single time I tell them, no, I don't want to be a missionary. It was also my freshman year that the prayer chapel became a really significant building on campus. It's my favorite building on campus. It became a place that I just walked in and took a breath of fresh air. I was like, relaxed. But I also started coming through just to journal and spend time in quiet and rest and wrestle with this question, am I being called to missions? So at the end of my freshman year, I was still very adamant that I did not want to be a missionary. I went to a Sunday night service, and Vern and Natalie Ward were speaking, and they're big-time Nazarene missionaries, and they shared their call to missions. And the whole time, I was on the edge of my seat. I was so excited by what they had to say and how God had worked in their lives. As somebody who spent a year transitioning from living overseas for 10 years to living in America and going to college, how they were able to work with high schoolers who were missionary kids overseas really got to me. And at the end of the service, they asked anyone in the congregation who felt God tugging on their heart to come to the altar. And I was internally melting because I've never done an altar call, but everybody in the building knew that I was just so excited by what they had to say because I was freaking out the entire time they were speaking. And so I went up, and Natalie asked me why I had come up. And I told her, I think I'm being called to missions, but I don't know. But I just feel really inadequate. And I started crying. And she said, that's the perfect place. That's where you need to be. And so going into my junior year at NNU, I added missions as a major along with global languages and cultures and entered the ministry department. I tell people that joining the ministry department was the best thing that happened to me at NNU because my first 2 years being the only person in my major, I realized I didn't have a community to study with and go through school with. But when I joined the ministry department, I all of a sudden had classmates to go through courses with, to wrestle with our course content together. People are afraid of things that are different, and I think I love things that are different. Through being at NNU, I've realized that the motivation of that is because Christ sees me as somebody who is unique and important, and I want to see other people through that lens of being loved and unique and important, wherever that is in the world.